This is Film Trigger. Stevie Cade.
I don't need breast implants. I lost 90 pounds. I have my own tits.
Seth Draven.
So by that logic, George Clooney is the best live-action Batman we have ever gotten.
Ramon from Hit or Miss TV.
If Justice League 2 isn't announced in 2022, I will shave my head bald live on air.
Streaming from Studio 47. Film Trigger's Drive-By News begins now.
What up? Monkey see, monkey do, huh? All right, our sub count just went down like 60%. Score. Look at you.
No, you're mixing things up. It's just...
Sorry. Whoa.
Seth came in like, hey, let's not be creative.
Fucking ruin it all.
No creativity here.
I told you, don't you fucking change it.
That's not how you do it. God. Wow. Okay. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Oh, what was that loud? Are you okay? You
no.
good?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Oh, okay. The man, the myth, the legend to my digital left. Seth Draven, how are you, sir?
I'm good.
All right. The man hanging down below in the ball section, Mr. Ramon from Hit or Miss TV. How are you, sir?
Hey, what's up?
What's up, bro? What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
What's up? All right. All right. Well, today is Matthew McConaughey Day, and we're all just going to relax, and just chill out.
I love that guy.
It's all right.
I could talk about him all day. I love that guy.
All right, and Monte will be with us whenever he gets off work. Monte has a very interesting job. He's a security guard at a courthouse or something, and he always has to wait on everybody to leave, and he's always waiting on if somebody brings a gun in and he has to apprehend them, then he has to fill out paperwork. So he leaves work.
So he's like Batman then.
Yeah, dude, he's ex-military. Yeah, he's kind of like Batman. He's an ex-marine.
I won't mess with him then.
Dude, he's psycho. I love the guy. He fits right
That's what
in.
Americans are like, isn't it? Americans are mad, aren't they? So,
Ramon, you're the maddest of us all. So I mean, sure, you can point the finger.
I'm quite sweet and innocent, old me.
Oh well, I apologize. The persona you put online is quite different, but
Okay, it's fair. That's fair.
But that's all right, because you're on the right ship, man. I put up that pirate flag, and y'all found my ship, and now we're on the ocean of the YouTubes, and we're gonna sail to the seas of the
unknown.
Well, whatever.
The mystical lands of the unknown.
We're here to talk about movie news. All right, we're here to talk about movie news and a bunch of stuff. We got a few things we're going to talk about today, but the biggest part of our show is actually going to be Ramon is going to do a Johnny Depp and Amber Heard court. Yeah, you are. Is going to do an Amber Heard. And
monkey.
That's when Seth's supposed to come in. Objection, hearsay.
Why am I that guy? What?
Because you're the only one. You're the only extra one here. But yeah, Ramon is going to
extra one.
Jesus Christ.
Joking.
Correct.
So Ramon is going to discuss the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case. If you haven't followed Ramon's channel on Hit or Miss TV, the link to that the link to that channel is in the description below. He follows this case probably a little too closely, almost obsessively. Which is good.
But it is. I'm doing it every single. Do you know what it is? It's like I said to you. With doing all the film and reaction videos, like we've discussed so many times on here. People don't know, when you're watching people on YouTube do our videos, when we're doing movie reviews, reacting to videos, the hours and hours and hours of editing you have to do is ridiculous. When something like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case comes up, all I've got to do is watch it and just talk a little bit, and that's it. It's so much easier than the other work. It's just so much easier.
Well, that's why our channel went mostly to the live streams. You know, I just spent 5 hours on a review today that took almost another 5 hours to upload, and which is up right now. My non-spoiler review for Doctor Strange, which is another part of the of what we're talking about today. We're going to do a group discussion, no spoilers of Doctor Strange. Ramon hated it apparently, so we'll see.
No, do you know what? I know we're going to get to it later, but honestly, man, I loved it. I know it's getting a bit of hate online, but I'm going by everything we've been watching since Endgame, like the TV shows and the films and that. They've been okay, you know, it's just been watching it. And I thought I was going to hate this. I was kind of like, yeah, I'm going to... But I just really enjoyed it because it wasn't like others. But we'll get to that later anyway, sorry.
Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll definitely get there. So Seth is with us. Ramon is with us. Monte will be with us soon. And you are with us now. So please, if you would like to join us in the conversation, give us a comment in the comments below. That's what they're named for. Or if you're listening to us in podcast style and you don't feel like texting and driving, you can give us a call live right now on air at 740-527-3447. The lines are open, and we're going to go ahead and get started. I have a feeling that since it's Friday, we're going to get a late start on people trickling in here, which is fine. So we'll save the good stuff for the end. Not that the rest of the stuff is bad, but whatever. First things first, Chris Pratt says Jurassic World domination will end the Jurassic franchise.
Jurassic World Dominion.
Dominion. What did I say? Domination?
Yeah.
Did I spell that before?
Yep.
Oh, it's probably in the description like that too.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm confused by that title because isn't a dominion like a selected area? Doesn't dominion mean like, oh, this dominion is mine? So that could mean like if you're in England, it would be like north of England, this dominion is mine, this part. But dominion, world dominion, that can't, the whole world is taken as one. It can't be, the whole world can't be one dominion. That don't make sense.
Well, maybe they put them all back on the island at the end, and that's what that means.
Jurassic World Dominion.
Because it's part of a bigger universe, like, the literal galaxy. So, like, Dominion.
So
planet,
we're gonna have a multiverse
World Dominion.
Jurassic World.
No,
Well,
I'm not
yeah,
saying a multiverse.
That's where it's going.
T-Rex
That's where it's going. As soon as Fast and Furious gets involved, as soon as Fast and Furious gets
A
involved,
fucking door's gonna open and a T-Rex is gonna come through.
What's the next trilogy gonna be? Because we had Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. Is it gonna be like Jurassic Circus?
Car park. Jurassic Car Park.
Jurassic Park and Rex.
Yeah.
Come on, it was funnier than that, I thought. All right, well,
Yeah, that was
anyway,
good.
Chris Pratt. I don't have my thing up here. I thought I did. Chris Pratt had something to say about this, hence why people are saying that it will end the franchise. He said on the Today Show, you go like, no. Let me try that again. Jurassic World. See, I wrote denomination on that too. God damn it. Well, in the franchise, I don't watch any of these movies. You go to like a fireworks display, like 4th of July or New Year's, and there's always the finale, and you're like waiting for it, and then boom, you're like, oh, this is it. This is the finale. I feel like the whole movie is that. It's 30 years in the making, and this is the 6th Jurassic Park film, and it's the end of this franchise. I really do think it's the end. You've got the legacy cast back: Sam Neill, Lauren Dern, Jeff Goldblum, plus the cast of Jurassic World, all converged in our storylines, converging in a way that is very much a finale. Or finale. Yeah, finale.
Finale.
Yeah.
Dude, sorry. Like reading his stuff is hard. Like, like what I mean? Like,
I mean it like.
So do you guys think this is really the end of the Jurassic stuff?
No. I think it's going to give a conclusion to this particular like storyline.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not done with. I can guarantee you we're going to get more from this universe. It makes too much money. Like they're making billions on these movies. Like
right.
Each.
And what else? And what else does Universal have going on?
Jurassic World versus Kong.
That's not Universal.
No, but nor was
the
Freddy and Jason at the time when they all mixed studios at the time, did they not?
Yeah.
It'll be something silly like that. Or they'll do that thing they do in Hollywood, Jurassic Park, the remake.
Yeah, Jurassic Park in 4K,
starring Tom Holland.
Yeah, starring Tom.
That is that's so likely.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Goldblum.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. He says like here you've got the legacy cast back, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, but like in another 15 years, Chris Pratt will be part of a legacy, and they'll want to see him come back. He'll be back. I think they'll continue this, and he'll be back. And
great.
whoever's still alive from the original cast.
All I know, well, not know, but like just guessing, it would just make sense. Somebody's gonna die in this movie. Someone out of Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and the original 3. Someone of those 5 is a goner. I can almost guarantee it. Why? I don't know. It just makes sense to me that that's something that would happen.
Is Sam Neill's the guy in it? In the original, it'll be him.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it would be him. I don't think they have the heart to kill Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum.
I don't think they have the resources to kill Jeff Goldblum. I mean, the guy's a celestial. Like,
yeah.
Who? So you guys think? Sam Neill will be the one to?
I think that could happen. Yeah. What if they take a turn though? Like, what if Chris Pratt's character gets killed off? Like,
that would be good. That would be good. Not like joking aside, but because it's not what you would expect. So
right.
That would be good.
That would really catch
different.
people off guard. Like, whoa! Like the main character from this trilogy. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I really do think somebody's gonna die. I think this movie's gonna be really good though. Like the trailers have been really good.
It looks good. I have had no interest in any Jurassic World movie. I haven't seen any of them, not a single one, because I don't care. Like to me, I love
all of them, man.
When Jurassic World came out, I was like, oh, cool, Jurassic Park wannabe, got it. And I just never showed interest. And when the second one came out, still no interest. This one is capturing my interest. And I might watch this one and be like, fuck, I need to go back and watch the other ones. But
you should watch the other ones before you watch this one.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you remember this argument we had in the early days of Drive-By News where you said you want to do this exact same thing? Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Yeah, because I remember me and Ramon both started yelling at you. Because we were like, if you don't watch the other ones, you're gonna go in there, be confused about everything. Because you're confused about everything, you're gonna hate it, and then be like, well, I don't want to go back and watch them now because they all suck. None of it made sense. It's like that's because you didn't watch the other ones.
It would be kind of like watching. It would kind of like watching the Spider-Man No Way Home and not seeing anything by Marvel ever. You watch it and go, okay, there's an octopus man, there's a geezer who's on a Green Goblin. Is that okay? It wouldn't have no impact. It's. Yeah, I mean, I've seen all the others. They're like a guilty pleasure. I'll be honest with you. Even like the original, great. I love the second one. I love the third one, even though they're crap. I mean, they're pretty bad, the second and the third one, but I still love them. They're just guilty pleasure movies, really. And the Jurassic World, again, I like them, but they're not great. They're not great, but I just enjoy them. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, you see, that's kind of where I go from here. Like, when I start thinking of Jurassic Park, and I think the second and third one, and I just didn't enjoy either one of those, not greatly anyway. And so now I feel like I've always felt like Jurassic World was just like a better looking version of 2 and 3. Like it's just trying to continue
Pretty
on trying to hang on to a franchise off the one great movie that they had, and I've never had an interest in it, and I love Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic Park.
That would actually work if you think about it. The first one to end, forget everything else, then the one with Chris Pratt comes out 20, 30 years later. That makes sense as a good. This is where it's at now, and this is what's happened, kind of thing. Yeah, but I mean, I just enjoy them. They are so silly. They're just so stupid. But I just take them as a bit of fun and see dinosaurs running around. Cool, like. Yeah, I quite enjoy them. I'm looking forward to this one anyway, just cause.
Just cause. Gotcha.
Just cause. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, just cause.
Oh, okay.
Like, kind of
I was like just cause.
No, like
I got you now.
Like, kind of like when you watch like bloody Fast and the Furious, and I say I love them. They're so dumb, but they're just.
That's another franchise. I've only seen the first one. I've never watched any of the other ones.
Love them.
See, but but you probably like fast cars and like
no, I don't.
And like
I
and
fucking
like
hate
techno
cars.
music.
I don't like cars.
Oh, you don't like cars, really?
Nope. It's just the whole thing of family. Dom, Lenny, Dom.
Did you guys see that?
Did
you guys see that video of what's his name, Vin Diesel talking to Justin Lin and like forcing him to like
Yep, I did see that.
Forcing him to talk good
no.
about the movie. Oh yeah, the video is basically Vin Diesel like doing a selfie, on his phone, and there's Justin Lin on the seat behind him. And he's like, hey, we're in the week 1 of shooting, and Justin Lin, like, you can see him like, yep. And he's like,
oh,
how excited? He's like, how excited are you for this movie? Oh, this is going to be a great beginning to an epic ending, and like a few days later he walked out. But like, yeah,
he walked out. Sorry, yeah.
I don't know why I brought that up, but all right, yeah. Chris Pratt says Jurassic World Dominion will be the end of the Jurassic franchise. Sure, okay, sure thing, Chris.
No, it is, because it's like saying the end of the Skywalker saga is the Rise of Skywalker. It's not a lie. They're not lying. We're still getting Star Wars content, but that saga's over. It's the same thing here. This is the end of the saga.
But that's not the end of the. He's saying franchise. He's saying
this franchise.
But a franchise and saga are not the same thing.
Maybe
even so, I still think
saying,
they'll revisit. They'll still revisit the Skywalker thing. They just will.
Oh yeah, they will.
Oh yeah, no, they only have, for some reason, Star Wars can literally go anywhere. You can go 10 trillion years in the future if you want to. But for some reason, they want to stay in the span of like 6 decades. So
yeah,
sure, whatever. Not a Star Wars conversation. Just it bothers me.
Right, it's 6 decades and like the same like planets.
Unless you want to read the books, then they go 200 years in the past.
Ooh. Well, they need to like. I think they just need to change like the whole like motif of it. Like instead of saying in a galaxy far, far away, they need to say in a solar system far, far away, because that's what Star Wars feels like. It doesn't feel like they're in a galaxy. It feels like there's some like a finite solar system and just hopping the same planets over and over again.
It needs a very, very big washover, and I think they tried to do that with The Force Awakens and that, and it started okay, but it was just a rehash, wasn't it? Really, let's be honest, it was just a rehash of A New Hope. And I'm kind of done with the fact that as a whole, the Star Wars thing. But if they were doing like a new trilogy, I want something that's just going to be like, I don't know who any of these people are, and be like, whoa, like, I want something fresh, definitely.
How cool would it be if they did do that, if they did bring Star Wars into the future, like if they brought like present day, like same concept, like Star Wars out of the galaxy, and like they start traveling away from their own galaxy, and the options
it
are
can
endless.
be anything. That's what I mean. Star Wars can be anything. That's what I mean. Star Wars really can be anything, as long as it's got some of the same concepts like Jedi or the Sith, like the Empire. There's certain things that it keeps to keep again, you can create a new thing, but the Jedi is quite a big, it's a backbone of it. Do you know what I mean? You can stray away from it, but Jedi is the big thing, like the whole thing, the young Padawan and learning from your master, and that's the whole concept that made it so interesting, I think. But I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to Obi-Wan, but I'm not getting my hopes up too much. I'm just kind of like, please be good.
Yeah.
Please be good.
Yeah, that's all we can really hope for, honestly. I know we kind of segued into Star Wars here, but like, I just, it's such an interesting thing to talk about, because I'm sitting there thinking, like, if they did bust out of the galaxy and they find Earth, and they kind of colonize Earth a little bit and plant seeds and do their own little thing, and I'm trying to go a very long way
but the thing is, the evidence is in the thing. The whole, I don't know about you guys, I loved Rogue One. I know it was Rogue One, wasn't it? What the prequel to New Hope? Yeah, Rogue One. Is that what it was? Rogue One?
Yes, Rogue One.
Yeah, I love that film, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't have cared if the story of that wasn't really about Vader. I wouldn't have really cared, because I just enjoyed it. Like, that was all new people. It had nothing really to do. You had someone who was remnants of someone who used to protect a Jedi temple, and it's like there was no real connection to anything really. And I love that film. I love it. Again, if that was like the first film of this is where we're going over that way now, and it's going to be something else, I'd be like, cool, I'd go for it. I quite like that.
Yeah, I mean, doing that sort of thing would be a good idea also. What I was trying to say before, though, was like, this will never happen, but I would love to see them try to connect Indiana Jones into the Star Wars mythology. So
what?
Have you seen the little nugget, the little nod to Star Wars?
Yes,
that's
Raiders.
Yes, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I love those. Do you know
I
what?
would love to
those
see
Indiana movies.
just a mention. Oh, there's a planet over here in this galaxy, whatever, and it's obviously our galaxy. And they plant
It'd be
the
great
seeds
if they
of
found,
something.
it would be great if they found a pyramid or something and they went to a planet, and it's like, oh, it's Earth and there's a planet, and they find the pyramid thing, see the 3PO thing, it'd be like, yeah. But I think they could do anything. The only thing as well is I hope, again, they're not going to do it because you've got to aim at kids. I just wish they did something a little bit more. You don't have to be totally mature, but like a little bit more grown up, because you look at, even when we look at early Marvel content, it was kids stuff, but not really. When you look at I know I always refer to Captain America, but that weren't really for kids. The Winter Soldier's, like, if you put that on for children, they'll be like, yeah, it's good, but it's like a Born Identity kind of movie. It was like you know what I mean? That kind of movie. Like, you could do Star Wars can be open to have a more serious movie. I just want something with really dark Jedis and dark Siths, and I want it to be aggressive. I just want to see that so much.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, do you think we'll ever get that, Seth?
Arms coming off, fucking
Maybe.
head.
I
love
doubt
it.
Okay.
Disney,
All right, moving on. So that's not what I meant to bring up. Cobra Kai season 5 trailer. Have you guys watched it?
Cokes.
No? Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad I sent that link.
I haven't
Danny
watched
boy.
Cobra Kai. I have no reason to watch this trailer.
We watched like the first 2 seasons over your
We watched
grandparents'
one
house.
season. We watched one season.
Okay.
There's
You
4.
know what happens when you play with fire, Danny boy? I love it. Johnny,
Okay. Well, then, this. Let me just bring this up.
Can't wait. It's gonna be so dumb. I can't wait. Ooh. Ooh.
All right, so that's where we left off in season 4.
Yes.
If you guys don't remember, and I'll be jumping in and out to keep the YouTube algorithm gods from taking down the channel. So they had a bet. Cobra Kai and the Miyagi-Do had a bet going on. Hey, listen, we're gonna win this tournament. No, we're gonna win this tournament. All right, you know what? Whoever wins this tournament claims the area, and the other dojo has to close down forever.
Yep.
Cobra Kai won, and so now the Miyagi-Do has to, close down. And now, for anybody who's not caught up, Johnny is a part of the Miyagi-Do. So now the Cobra Kai dojo is being ran by Tommy and Terry. Is it Terry?
Terry Silver.
Oh yeah, Terry Silver and the other guy.
John
Thank
Kreese.
you. Terry Silver and
I love Terry.
Kreese.
Terry Silver's one of my favourite villains ever in anything, because he's an absolute scumbag.
Dude, he is like, he was such a great element in that movie. Terry Silver was like, I wish he was like the main antagonist through all 3 movies.
Yeah, but that's what I like about it so much. So like, I know you didn't see it, Seth, but like, he's like helps John Kreese, obviously like the main Cobra Kai guy, and right in the very last episode, all of this stuff happens, and it all goes up the wall, and all of these crimes and all this stuff that's been happening all the way through the season, and he's like, "Hey, John, I got something to tell you." And the cops turn up and they arrest John Kreese, and he gets taken away and he's going nuts. And Terry Silver's like, just drink champagne. You just think I love him. I forgot
about the him having
Kreese
arrested.
It. Yeah.
So let's travel through some of this a little bit more. See what we can pick apart here.
Yeah, Terry Silver's one of the greats. I think, again, I just like this show because it's just one of them. It's not too heavy. You don't have to think. It's just throwaway entertainment, isn't it? It's just throwaway entertainment and not too heavy.
It is. It's throwaway entertainment with built-in nostalgia. Okay, so look at this right here. So obviously Cobra Kai now is a franchise. They have many dojos all around the states or the state. You see Johnny here chugging what I assume is the Coors Light or whatever he drinks.
Legend.
Yeah, obviously he's chugging that right before he goes in here. What do you think is about to go down in this?
I think he's going to get his ass kicked, but that's what it's just I'm just going to beat him up. I love it.
Yeah, it's his own toxicity, man, and that's the one thing I really enjoy about this show the most, and it's not because Johnny has such great character development. He reminds me, and he's always reminded me of Archie Bunker from All in the Family, in the sense that Archie Bunker always puts his foot in his mouth. The character never changes. Like he just doesn't. And he kind of reminds me of that Archie Bunker a little bit. He's still got that good old fashioned family racism embedded in him. He's politically incorrect. He's an alcoholic. He doesn't really give a shit about much, but like he's trying a little bit. But the roots of him are really, he's still just that meathead from the 80s. And I love it. I love it, man.
Yeah, I do. I'm surprised because it's coming out in September, innit? And we were always going on about Netflix stuff because they have a slow turnaround, and I'm surprised it's coming out so soon because I knew they were working on it, but I was thinking, maybe next year at some point. So I'm happy that it's coming out this year.
Yeah, me too, man. It's when the fourth season. When did the fourth season end? Was it 2021? I can't remember.
It was the end of last year. I think it was
the end of December.
Yeah,
is that when it dropped the end of December?
I think so. Hold on.
Oh yeah, because we were
done every week,
right?
Every week
watching Cobra Kai,
January.
Cobra Kai, and then realizing that the story of like Chosen and Terry Silver was what made me want to do my Karate Kid review series.
That's it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I mean. So a year. So they've done quite quick. That's what I mean, though. I don't think they need They just need sort of a rough script of what they're doing. It doesn't need that's what I'm saying. It's not one of them shows where it's got to be this in-depth story. It's just light-hearted foolishness.
So, is
really.
Cobra Kai not attached to you at all? Like, do you not care?
I don't care. I enjoyed the first season a bit, but I didn't rush to watch the next season. So
that's interesting. What is it? What is it about the show that you just don't care? Like, or you just don't? It doesn't connect to you, or what?
I mean, I just didn't grow up with like the Karate Kid stuff, I'd seen it. It's not like I went my whole childhood without watching those movies. I have seen them. I guess when I was a kid, they just did not connect with me, and I can't really say exactly why. I don't know. I can't pick it out, but I mean, the show isn't bad or anything. I didn't dislike it. I just wasn't rushing to finish it. That's all. I'm sure I'll get to it at some point.
And that's
maybe
fair.
Before season 5 comes out.
That's fair. I just honestly I was never into Karate Kid growing up. I saw the first movie and I liked the first movie, but I liked the first movie as like a 5-year-old me would. And I'm like, oh yeah. And like when I did the review series and I rewatched that movie, it was like nostalgia warfare in my head. I'm like, oh my god, I remember that skeleton outfit. Oh my god, I remember that shower curtain costume. Like it was a whole bunch of stuff that really just brought back memories. But the show is what brought me back to the movies. I just like the show for what it was. I love that, like you said, Ramon, that kind of throwaway, comedy a little bit.
It's like having like one of them other 90s shows like Saved by the Bell or one of them. It's like they bring that back off. I know they tried to do Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but it's like bringing back Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and it was Will Smith. You'd just watch it just because it's like, oh, it's that guy. It's cool. It's you know what I mean? It's something to watch. But I hope they don't like run it into the ground and do like 20 seasons of it. I hope they do like another 1 or 2 and then just go, right, boom, that's the end of the story and leave it there, because I don't want it to sort of be one of them like Walking Dead where they do 20 seasons and it's just a load of shit. Just do a couple, like if they done this season and said, right, it's going to be the end of this one or the end of the next one and that's it, and it's got like a conclusion to everyone's story, they'll go off happy into the sunset. Great. I think that becomes part of like the Karate Kid thing forever, like the films, then you go, oh, there's the TV series, cool, that's it, and just leave it at that. That's what I'd prefer.
You see, I would really like to see, like, obviously this show is trying to bring a whole new generation of fans into it.
Yeah.
It's obviously made for a younger audience while also still pleasing the older audience of the Karate Kid. But I would really like to see, as they close out the Danny and Johnny storylines, obviously tied in with Terry and Kreese and all that. I would really like to see it almost take a slight darker shift, just to.
I want to have a fucking fight on a train track, and a train comes along and just fucking wipes 3 of them out.
Okay,
Daniel LaRusso's laying on there, and his guts are like, "Fuck, Johnny, and then he just dies. And Karate Kid.
I'm thinking something a little different. I'm thinking of something a little bit more humbling. Like in the sense, of like I just had like a vision of like in my head, like what if Kreese on the show has a stroke, and now and nobody is there to take care of him, and Johnny has to like. And Johnny steps up and says, "You know, I'm going to take care of this."
That's what I'm trying to say.
You know,
something like that will happen.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Seth is so excited for it. I can tell. Like he's like, "Oh, mate, yeah."
I know.
If they introduce that into the story, I'm going to be hooked.
Seth's resting bitch face is on point right now.
I have nothing to say, and I'm tired, so I'm just waiting.
You're just waiting for the big
stuff.
one.
Yeah, get the good stuff. I'm kidding.
All right. Well, we'll just wait backstage. No big deal.
But I'm hyped for it anyway. It's just going to be one of them, innit?
All right.
That's just mean. You should never ever be mean to the Seth Meister.
Oh, he's the kid's got skin as thick as my pig in the backyard. He's fine. That wasn't an insult. It didn't mean for that to be an insult.
Hey, son, you've got skin like my pig. Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome, son.
I'm gonna go back to playing Mario until we get to Doctor Strange. I'm kidding.
The multiverse of whatever. All right, let's just finish out this trailer a little bit here. See what they got in store for us. Terry Silver, the man, he looks good too. Oh, there we go.
Chosen, yeah.
Mr. Miyagi's back.
How'd that happen?
Oh, that's just
and the
mean.
DH Danny. Nice.
Do you know what though? I remember that. I think was that Karate Kid. It was Karate Kid 3, wasn't it? That
was
when he
2.
first comes. Was it 2 with Terry Silver? I thought it was.
Oh
3.
no. I'm sorry.
No,
I was thinking of Chosen here.
Yeah.
Chosen's
No.
Terry Silver's
When Terry
3.
Silver come into it, man, I just remember when he was first introduced into that third movie. Third movie is a bit crap, but he comes along and he's all like, yeah, Mr. Miyagi, I'm so sorry for what happened, and he's all like giving it the nice guy thing, and then he walks away and the camera's on his face, and as he's walking towards the camera, he's like, and I thought, yes, he's a fucking scumbag.
Oh
yes.
man, Seth, you gotta watch these first 3 movies, man. I bet
He's
if you watch those first 3 movies, you would really enjoy the show a little bit more.
My feeder is playing the Karate Kid right now. I have no idea why,
dude. And like going back and doing my review series, I wanted to do that review series because I wanted to know more about these characters that are showing up, specifically Chosen. I couldn't remember who Chosen was. And then when I did my review for Karate Kid 2, Chosen was like the main antagonist in that movie.
Horrible in it.
Yeah, and like
he awful,
gets,
yeah.
And it's really fun to see like they're putting him into a different light here. Now he's the protagonist in this series. And this is a guy that literally tried to kill Danny in part 2.
Yeah, he did.
I love seeing these story arcs come to a major like conclusion and a major change. Like it's great for character development. It really makes watching this show. If you watch the previous movies, it makes watching this show much more enjoyable. Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
and I can't wait to see what this guy could do because good guy or bad guy, the dude was a fucking beast in the movie.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. All right, let's see here.
Yeah, he's just gonna get the kids hurting each other.
Yeah,
that's what he's gonna do. He's just gonna have the kids beating the crap out of each other. And Tori's gonna end up switching over. The girl who won it, I think, she'll end up switching over.
Oh yeah, you know she will. That I can see that coming from a mile away.
But even so, like as I say, even though Seth's not into it, I think like for a second, like the one thing that's good about it is the younger characters that are in it. I do actually care about them. You know that I can't remember the kid's name, the mixed race kid who was getting bullied, and then he joined Cobra Kia, and I was like, and I didn't want him to join. I was like,
the main kid, right?
Man, he's a good kid, and I was like, but he's going like down that dark path, and I was like, but I liked his character though. Like, there's some good characters in it.
Well, that's the thing about the show is like it kind of turns everything on its head. You know, especially like with Johnny specifically. Johnny just wanted to get back into karate, and he only knew Cobra Kai. So like he just did what he just knew, Cobra Kai, and now even he's realizing in season 4, like, this is not right. Like, this isn't good. You know, Cobra Kai is not stand up for the right things. So that but he doesn't want to join Miyagi-Do, so he comes out with Eagle Fang.
Eagle Fang.
Eagle Fang was fucking hilarious, man.
Gibberish. It's all gibberish. I don't understand a word you guys are saying to me.
So, all right, we got just a little bit more of this trailer just to poke through
Eagle
here.
Fang. He's bound to get his ass kicked again, John. He's going to go in there and go in a cage fight, and then she's going to beat the crap out of him. But yeah, as I say, I'm just excited because it's coming out in September, so that's a little bit sooner. And I think we've got at the end of this month. I think Stranger Things is like the 27th of this month. There's a couple of other shows as well. When's The Boys out? That's like June, isn't it?
It's coming out. It's less than a month. Yeah, less than a month away.
Yeah, there's quite a few bits coming out, so that's good. That's good.
I'm gonna have to rewatch some of The Boys. I don't even remember how that series ended.
Yeah, I do. I really enjoyed that.
All right, well, that's enough of Cobra Kai. We'll just back out. Yeah.
Seth loves Cobra Kai.
Mm-hmm. Sir.
So what's next on the agenda, Stevie
All right,
Cade?
what's next on the agenda is, do you remember Darkman?
Of course, Liam Neeson. A wonderful movie.
Liam Neeson was not in
Absolutely
Darkman.
terrible, but who do you think Darkman is?
That was one of the bald ones, wasn't it?
Who played the Darkman?
Who am I thinking? If that's not him, then who am I thinking?
You're thinking of The Shadow with Alex Baldwin.
I am thinking of The Shadow.
Oh my God, how did you know that, Gav? And who done the theme song to The Shadow? Taylor Dane. And the theme song from The Shadow was actually written and produced by Meatloaf because it's supposed to be in an opera. But Taylor Dane ended up singing it.
Okay, well, then you have seen Darkman.
Of course I've seen Darkman.
Well, Sam Raimi's Darkman could get a sequel after 32 years. Sam Raimi had a quote with The Wrap that says, Universal is talking about a Darkman sequel. There's a producer attached. I haven't heard the story yet or gone into it. I've been so busy with Doctor Strange, but I think it's cool. So I don't know. What?
Seth, have you seen Darkman?
I have never seen Darkman.
It'd be well dated now, but it's like, it is kind of, well, it is a superhero film, but it's,
yeah.
Liam Neeson plays Darkman, and it is. I think it's a very good film, but when you watch it now, because I think it's like late 80s. I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Late 80s, early 90s. So it's extremely dated, but the story.
1990.
The
actually.
Yeah, like the costume and everything is so cool, man. But it's whether they can. It's a good character. It is a good character.
I know people. This movie does have a following, so
yeah.
I'm sure people would be happy with a sequel for it.
Yeah, like I think he has he's like a scientist or something, and something obviously goes wrong. It all explodes, rips off all of his like skin, everything, and he's covered in bandages, and he's trying to make skin that he can wear to become himself again. But he goes out in the sun, and it all melts into his face again, and he's just got blood, and it's disgusting. That's what I mean. So he's trying to make him kind of like Deadpool, like he's trying to make himself normal again. And it's just like a crime thriller kind of thing, but it's just a really good film, but it's just very, very dated. So the idea of what you could do with it, yeah, you could easily do something with it, because it's bloody awesome. It's all, again, like kind of like Spawn. He's one of those characters like Spawn where it's there, someone could do something, but will they? It's one of them.
Well, considering that I spent all day thinking of The Shadow as the Darkman, I'm not even sure if I've seen Darkman now.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure if I've seen it. Like now that you're sitting there describing it, and I'm like, I was thinking of The Shadow the whole time.
Darkman. Right, so Darkman, at the very beginning, you've got the big lab explosion, and it's all the mafia and that have done. I can't remember what caused it, and he makes synthetic skin, body skin, and
see, this sounds familiar.
And he has to try and make the synthetic skin, so he's lost his family, his wife, and everything. And he goes to meet her, and every time he meets her, he's wearing like this synthetic, and it's Liam Neeson, but he's wearing synthetic. And you see in the sun, his face starts boiling all up, and it's so he just wears bandages all around it. He looks like a mummy. He kind of just wears like a top hat and just hides himself.
Yeah, didn't the Shadow do the same thing?
The Shadow was.
Didn't he wear like bandages too? Okay.
Yeah, he had.
Yeah.
And he had the big black cape and a top hat.
And the top hat, yeah. I used to have the Shadow action figure, so it was it was literally just a plastic see-through toy.
yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Because he's invisible.
That's what I'm saying, Seth. You're what's the word? Not inundated, but you're spoiled for choice when it comes to this sort of stuff now, like the quality that you're getting. So these movies will just be like, this is bad. It looks, like the graphics and the visuals are so dated.
Yeah,
but for the time, it's
Seth just learned that watching. Wow. Seth just learned that watching Evil Dead the other night.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're spoiled for choice now because it's just the norm to have all that stuff. But at the time, like the Shadow came out and all that, I was like, man, I know this is amazing. But it weren't really. It's just what's his special power? He goes in the shadows. And then you see like shadows all around the walls, and then he comes out of a shadow and you're like, wow, but he just stood in the dark. just the geezer stands in the dark and then he comes out and you're like, whoa,
I can stand incredibly still for so long that I become imperceptible to the human eye.
Yeah,
you're eating a Zarg nut. Okay, all right, so we're two for two here with Seth. Seth has no interest in most two of the three things we've talked about here.
I mean, I've just never seen Darkman. That's the thing. Like with Cobra Kai, it's like, I mean, yeah, obviously I've never seen it, but it's like in my face all the time because everybody's always talking about Cobra Kai. With Darkman, I didn't even know this movie existed until like last year. Like I'd never heard of it.
You know what?
Before.
I would put it. It's not in an insulting way because it's not even on the same level. But I'd put Shadow, Darkman, and Crow in the same thing. It's for like a specific type of time of people that like those movies, whereas you wouldn't have like it's like even now when you talk about the Crow, it's a specific audience that go, oh, the Crow, and Darkman and the Shadow are like them. They're just other. I never
really liked the Crow, so
then you won't like them then.
Still want to watch it though.
Well, I still want a Crow reboot, like because I want Crow to be introduced to like someone like Seth in a way that he could like it. He doesn't like the old one, but he might like the new one. That I think that's a reasonable thing to want. Is that no okay, Ramon?
Ramon looks like he wants to kill someone.
I'm not like that with any other film. It's only that one movie, and maybe if Superman, I was like that with Brandon Routh because I was like Christopher Reeve is Superman, but maybe you're right. Maybe someone will come along. Maybe the thing he's doing it, and he hey, yeah, Georgie, that fella, and maybe it will. Because I like him anyway. I do like him, that Skarsgård fella, the weird looking dude. He is a great actor, and I do love him. And I hope that because he was great as Pennywise. I did love him as Pennywise, and maybe it'll be one of those that comes out and becomes a gigantic hit, and it's bigger commercially than the other one. I hope that it does, but I'm not going to get my hopes up.
But, I think that's the best bet. Don't get your hopes up. But when it comes to this, just to tie up this last conversation, when it comes to Sam Raimi's Darkman, what do you think about it getting a sequel 32 years after the original? And I don't remember how the first one ended. I don't remember how the first one ended. Could Liam Neeson still did he survive?
Yeah.
So can he come back, or is this going to be like a Hollow Man 2 situation?
No, he could come back. Liam Neeson could do the movie because it's not, I wouldn't say it's like not stunts and stuff. It's not, even if he's like 60 or whatever, it's not really that sort of, kind of like with Robert Downey Jr. He does bits where he jumps or whatever, but it's not like he's getting, the stuntmen and all of that, because he's in a mask. So he can still do the movie, and it is a good story, and I think they'd be able to do a better sequel to that now than they probably did, because there were sequels to it back then that were just not very good.
Were there really?
Yeah. There's 3 of them, and the 2 and 3 are just pretty poor.
Well, Seth, come over tomorrow and let's do a Darkman watch party, or not even a watch party. Let's just watch the movie because I guess I've never seen it. I was thinking of The Shadow the whole time.
As I say, beware, it's extremely dated. You'll be watching it and just be laughing like.
Was Liam Neeson in all of them?
Nope.
No.
Only in the first one. Sam Raimi was in the third one though. That's weird. He didn't do any of them except the first one, but he was in the third one. Do
you know what? And the more I think about it, the more I think it is like The Crow, because it's that whole thing of it's like getting, like the Dark Avenger tale of something that happens and it's this mysterious man going to get revenge kind of thing. So
that's Monte. He says the sequels are so bad. Monte. Sorry, I'm still at work. It's okay, Monte. At least you're here in spirit, buddy. Thank you. Yeah. So Monte, I don't know if you heard or not, but like I was thinking that Darkman was the Shadow movie. So like there was a moment of like understanding there or not understanding where I was really confused for a bit. All right, so with that, we're gonna hand the reins over to.
Oh
Ramon.
Yeah, no pressure.
Ramon, no pressure, no pressure, Ramon.
So it's better off if you ask me a question, because do you know what? I was trying to explain this to someone the other day. They said, right, this Johnny Depp case, tell me what happened. And I'm like, that's like someone saying, Daenerys Targaryen in the very first episode of Game of Thrones, there's 7 seasons, tell me her story. Like so much happens. It's one of those I can't.
Okay, Ramon, here's a question for you. What has come up this week? If you could sum up this week,
that's easier.
If you could sum up this week, and kind of just go back and forth, what happened this week that changed? Because this week was a different week. This week was like Amber Heard took the stand. Did she have some good points? Did she make her statement? Did she prove herself, the true victim in this situation? Did she bring justice to herself? Ramon, please. By all means.
Right, okay, cool. Right, so Amber Heard finally took the stand, and her attorney asked her a lot of questions, and they were basically going over everything so far that's happened and what Johnny Depp has already spoken about. Now, she's recounted everything. In particular, towards the end of this week, they were talking about an incident that took place in Australia where Johnny Depp, if you do know or do not know, he lost part of his middle finger. The top was chopped off. Now, he's already given his account of what happened in his examination about a week or 2 ago, and he had a cross-examination by her attorneys, and she's gone up to give her account of what happened, so amongst other things, but this is kind of where they're at. She was on the stand, I think, on Wednesday afternoon from about 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 5, then she was on all Thursday, so in total she was about 10, 11 hours maybe, and she just kind of rambled on and on and on and on. All this stuff was coming out, and it's very difficult. Like I say, I've watched everything, and even I was not losing interest, but I was finding it difficult to keep up, because if you guys know or you don't know, there's audio tapes that a lot of us have listened to that are online from years ago that are actual physical audio tapes where you can listen to conversations between all of them. But the problem with that is they are of these events that she is talking about. If you listen to the audio tape, then listen to her in court, they don't add up at all. So
that's something I noticed a lot watching this trial is okay. Let's move up to like the photos a little bit here, or something like that. When she tried to present those photos and the story she described leading up to the photos. Oh, the bed and the bed sheets and the pillows were all covered in blood. My hair was ripped out, and there was pus.
Ripped out.
Pus coming from my head.
The problem that I've got with this, right, is this is like a genuine thing. This isn't just because I favour Johnny Depp. I've said this in my streams. I clearly favour Johnny Depp in this because I like Johnny Depp. I don't like her. Right. I'll be honest about it. So my opinion is going to be biased towards Johnny Depp.
Right.
But if something comes out and there's video footage of him going up, "Oh, Amber," and I'm watching a video of him hit her, the guy deserves to go to jail. I'm not going to just pretend and side with someone just because I like him. I'm going to be honest about it. However, so far, Johnny Depp has provided his own statement, so she's done her own statement. He's had a doctor, he's had a nurse, he's had 3 different police officers, he's had 2 security guards, he's had witnesses, people that have worked for Amber Heard. So far, there's been like 15 people that have gone up as witnesses and said, I see this with my own eyes. Everything Amber's got has been what she said. No one else has ever seen anything except her.
Right.
Doesn't make sense.
No, that's a very solid point.
It's weird, mate.
Yeah, no one's
weird.
This was the week to bring those people up, right? Like that.
Right.
This was the week to do that. Like if she had witnesses speak on her behalf, this was the week to do it. And did she have any? She had a psychiatrist? Right?
No, she had one. So basically, she had one therapist come up, and this is messed up, man. So she had a therapist come up, right, and she done a psychological analysis of her. And she said all of this stuff that's come out about her borderline personality disorder and all these other things, I don't buy into that. She's got none of those things. Then it came to Johnny Depp's attorneys with the therapist on the witness stand. They said, when did Amber Heard hire you to become the therapist? 2020. Oh, so she hired you after Johnny Depp was suing you for this case. So in other words, she didn't have any witnesses. Right. She hired up a therapist, went to her, told her all of this stuff, and then that therapist has come to this trial because Johnny Depp was suing her. So that don't make sense to me. She's only been hired since Johnny Depp was going to sue her.
What are you thinking, Seth?
Bit mad, isn't it?
No idea. It's crazy. It's a crazy situation, and I don't think
it's bizarre.
It's clear, like Johnny Depp has more going for him at the moment, but like, and like Ramon said, I like Johnny Depp, so I'm going to be biased already on his side, especially since there has been no actual evidence of him hitting her. Now, maybe a bombshell drops at some point during this court case, and like Ramon said, I'm not gonna just like him for the sake of liking him anymore, but like I think I don't want to give sides. I don't think I want to give sides until.
Well, look at it this way.
You will in a minute, mate.
Look at it this way, Seth. Again, this was the week for her to bring all of her evidence.
However, that's a fair point.
However, when she's done her cross-examination, which means when Johnny Depp's attorneys have all spoken to her, she will then probably have witnesses come up. I think the only person that's actually going to take to the stand after for her will be her sister. Now, I'll go, well, that's cool, her sister's spoken, but at the same time, I can't really count that as more than the cops, more than the security guards, more than the video footage, more than the audio, because a sibling is going to protect you no matter what. You go, all right, your sister said she's backing you. Well, your sister's going to back you anyway. Even if she chopped off Johnny Depp's arm, her sister's still going to go on there and go, no, he did this first, because it's a sibling. So to me, you need something. But the biggest problem, I'll try and find it now. I've got two clips, right? Now, on Thursday, Amber Heard was on the stand, and she gave her account of what happened in Australia. So, in Johnny Depp's mind, just a quick one. That apartment at the place in Australia, he was filming Pirates of the Caribbean 5. They were at the place, and he was drinking in the place, and she threw a bottle at him. It missed him. She picked up another one, threw it at him, chopped off the top of his finger. That's not what happened in her eyes. She went on the stand, said, he beat me up. He was throwing me into the wall. He picked up a phone. He smashed the phone into the wall. It exploded into pieces. Then he abused me, as in he abused her. He got it's disgusting, man. He
sexually abused her.
Right. He got a bottle and used a bottle on it, he cut her up. He headbutted her, broke her nose, gave her 2 black eyes. Right. This is her account on the stand, and I'll show you her clip. Then what I'm going to show you afterwards is the audio clip at the place, and you can hear what she's saying. Compare it to what she said on the stand. It's 2 different people. It's nuts.
All right,
it's nuts. So
go for it.
I'll just find the where is it? Share video file. Amber video number 1 film trigger.
Oh, there it is. All right.
So this is right.
There were some bottles broken on the floor.
Right. So basically this is her in Australia saying, and I've cut out all the little breathing bits. So if it skips, ladies and gents, it's just I've cut out all the bits where she's and all that. I've just cut out. So it's
This is actually after Again, forgive me, I wish I could remember the sequence, but it's flashes. He's throwing these bottles at me. I remember retreating. There were also cans, like soda cans, beer or soda cans, and they're coming at me one after the other.
Hey, Ramon, can you pause that for a second?
Into the bar area. There's
it's
a bar
about. I think each clip's about 2.5 minutes each clip. So
no, it's fine. I just wanted to Can I do I have control over this?
I don't know. I've just got to play.
Oh, that is weird.
Can you?
I do.
I have control over your video. Yeah.
Oh, then you do it. Then you do it.
Oh no. I just wanted to get back to this shot right here, because this shot right here is. I think this tells a lot of. It shows a lot of deeper story here, and that's if you watch when Johnny Depp is on stand. He keeps his head down. He talks about the situation. He doesn't really make eye contact unless he says something that gets the crowd laughing a little bit. Then he kind of perks up and he chuckles. But if you watch Amber Heard, she's staring at him the whole time, like staring right at him.
Even now, she's staring at. Even when this part, she's staring at him, and he put a quote out when they got a divorce. You'll hear it on one of the audios. He said when they got a divorce, he told her, and it's on there, and he says, "I'm never ever going to look you in the fucking eyes again. You've destroyed me. You've ruined me." This whole court case, he hasn't looked at her once. Yeah. If you look at her, every time she's talking, she looks at the jury, and then she stares at him, hoping that he'll look at her. It's weird, bro.
It's not weird. This is from what. Listen, I'm not a lawyer or anything like that. I'm not a psychologist, but this seems pretty basic abuser and abusee situations. You know, when someone's an abuser, they look down like this. They put their head down like this. When someone
that's what I'm saying. You'll see through this clip.
Yeah. Please continue, Ramon. I'm sorry. Yeah.
But what I'm saying, you'll see from the clip and the audio after that it. As I say to people, make up your own mind. I'm biased, but I'm saying listen to this for yourselves, and you tell me.
Beer or soda cans, and they're coming at me one after the other, and I keep pulling myself into the bar area. There's a bar behind me, and like an L shape. He's standing in the only way you can exit, so I'm kind of trapped in front of this sink, surrounded by bar on 3 sides, with him in front of me, kind of front off to the left. And he's throwing these bottles one after the other, and I can feel glass breaking behind me. I remember feeling one of them go by my head really fast. I mean, a velocity, a real...
Right, I've got to remember that first. So she just said, this is just something to remember, right? She just said she went into the bar area, he threw bottles, and bottles went past me in the bar area. When you hear the audio from her at the place in a minute, she goes, I threw the first bottle. So that's already one lie.
Velocity. I remember being terrified. I remember I couldn't move. I couldn't go anywhere. I eventually he ran out of things to throw. I think that's how I moved myself towards the exit. And I believe that's most likely when we got kind of in this struggle by the bar area. Because I remember my feet slipping on the tile as he was slamming me from the wall to the countertops. At one point, he has me up against the wall, and he's punching the wall. He had my, nightgown, and kind of ripped it off my chest.
I'll cut that.
Naked,
it's a bit rude.
And I'm slipping around on this tile and trying to get my footing. And I remember slipping on this tile. Glass was underneath me, and I remember just trying to get my footing. I felt really destabilized and felt really vulnerable. I'm naked. And he's flinging me around, and at some point, I'm up against the wall, and he's screaming at me that he fucking hates me, that I ruined his phone.
Yeah, she swears a lot there.
On the wall next to where my head was. And he went from punching the wall to realizing there was a phone there, and he picked up the phone and he's screaming. He's like at the top of his lungs, screaming, I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. You ruined my fucking life. And screaming at the top of his lungs, he picks up the phone and starts bashing the phone against the wall where I was just being held.
So listening to that, you'd think that's quite... I was watching this and I'm like, man, this is deep. Like, this is... Right? So watch this next part. This is bizarre.
I remember kind of having some distance on what was happening and watching him do this. And it was like his energy had shifted. And I was that phone all of a sudden. And he was just over and over again smashing this phone into the wall over and over again, screaming at me. And I was watching...
Right, this here...
Is that the phone?
Right, that's the... This is a photo of evidence that was put in That phone there is apparently smashed into pieces. It doesn't look like it's been smashed to me. So let's watch.
Every single time
This is taken
pulled his
after
hand
the
back,
incident.
it was just breaking into pieces. I remember thinking this phone is disappearing. We're smashing it to smithereens, just going into the wall. And at some point, he's on top.
So explain that. So that's one thing, and that photo was taken by. His name is Ben, and he's going to be in the next clip, the audio clip. So at the house is Ben. Ben is, I don't want to call him a butler because that's insulting, but he went on to become a witness and he went on the stand. So yeah, Jim, I'll be speaking about that. Yeah, the broken glass thing is just crazy.
I do like the John McClane call back there.
Yeah. So
just rub your toes on the carpet. You'll feel much better.
So basically, the audio clip, Amber Heard handed this in when all of this started back in, I think it's 2016 or whatever. She handed in a phone, and her phone was recording all the audio of what was going on in the house at this time. So that's what we're going to listen to now. So you're going to hit the names you will see is Jerry Judge, which is like the I suppose security guard, Mr. Kipper, which is the doctor, and I'm not sure of the nurse's name. I forgot her name. I think her name's Debbie. Yeah, Debbie the nurse. So it's Jerry, David, Debbie. Jerry, David, Debbie. Yeah, so there's three of them. You're going to hear them at the place after Johnny Depp has just lost his finger, and you're going to hear what he's actually said, and it's bizarre considering what she's just said there. So apparently he's abused her, right?
Right.
He's thrown her around, punched her, used a bottle on her. He's headbutted her, which was, I didn't show it, but he headbutted her, and she's got 2 black eyes.
2 black eyes, a broken nose, blood everywhere.
So obviously the doctors and the nurse would be like, what the fuck? Like, what's happened to you? That's what they would have, right. But that doesn't happen.
Oh, let me get that.
This is weird, mate. Some of it's a bit hard to hear. So he's saying, this was all on the Sunday afternoon, and he's just coming back from the hospital, and they're trying to find the top of his finger to go to the hospital to get it put back on.
Fucking understood what you are and who you are and how you fucked me over and make me feel sick of myself.
This gets nuts. This is Dr. Kipper, this is. You can hear it, you can't really hear it on here, but he's going to need a skin graft, otherwise he's going to need a skin properly. So she did this. Look, Ben, that's the guy, the guy who looks after the house. That's the nurse. Look, Debbie, and it would have been there where the initial injury was, so they're trying to find the top of his finger.
Well, actually, it could be in here, too.
This is only about another minute and a half, but she shattered the bone. This is the doctor saying this.
Yeah.
This is the doctor. No one else. So you know, I don't know if you can tell from it, but she shattered the bone. The majority of the blood, Debbie, is downstairs, but I went through that really carefully, trying to find the top of the finger. Then Amber comes in. And she's crying, poor Johnny, poor Johnny. I love him. I never meant to hurt him. I didn't do it on purpose. And they're trying to like, give her something to sedate me. He's walked away from her again, and she's saying he needs me. Right, so you've got to bear in mind, right? I won't go through it because it's another couple of minutes. But what I'm saying,
who recorded this?
This is on her phone by accident. So basically, I'll guys, if you want to find this, it's all on YouTube. You could just type in the audio and you'll find it yourselves on YouTube. There's loads and loads of them. So basically, what happened? She initially accused them of all this stuff in Australia in 2016. She handed her phone in. This was on her phone from that occasion. So this is from her phone. She didn't know that she'd recorded it.
How did they obtain this? How did they obtain this? Like, if it was from her phone,
I don't know.
Did she?
I don't know.
That's
but
strange.
But what I'm trying to say is, his finger's just been chopped off. They're about to go to the hospital, try and get his finger put back on. The doctor's there, the nurse is there. If she's sitting at the stand, she's got blood all over her, blood all up her arms, all her hands are beat. She's been headbutted. All her clothes are ripped because he's assaulted her. She's standing in front of the doctor and the nurse. Why hasn't anyone said to her, "Are you okay? What's happened to you?" Nothing.
Right.
There's none of that. And it goes on and on. I mean, as I say, guys, I'd suggest you go and listen to it yourselves, because when you listen to that and then you go back and then listen to her testimony on the thing, they don't add up.
They don't add up at all. No,
they don't line up at all.
Well, and not just that, but like after she had been accused, and listen, I'm like you guys. Listen, I like Johnny Depp, but I'm also a person that doesn't. I'm not going to let. I don't want Johnny Depp to be guilty, but could he be guilty? Absolutely, but
it could be.
I'll wait for the evidence. I haven't seen any of the evidence, and then she's telling this story, this very vulgar tale, and she describes of how like he headbutts her, he broke her nose, her blood is everywhere, and she provided photo evidence, and the only photo evidence that she provided shows that the phone that he used to beat her and beat the wall with, that was broken into pieces, was still whole. The photos that she shows of herself are very like it looks like she has had like a long night. Like she didn't even look like, if you're listen, I've seen people get punched before, much less have a broken nose, and they don't look like that. They don't look that good afterwards, and unless Johnny just really sucks at hitting, and I don't want to make light of the situation, but if he really just hits like
the thing that makes it difficult,
I don't know how to explain it.
The thing that makes it so difficult is because she's on the stand, you tend to believe her, because like, again, I myself am watching it and I believe it because I'm watching it, and it's hard. I felt like, come on, you know me, guys, I'm pretty messed up in the head, I'm pretty sick, and you know me, I'm very outspoken. When she was talking, and even though that I knew that I've heard the audio tapes, even though I knew that what she's saying wasn't matching up, because I've heard it and I'm listening to it, and it still made me feel sick because I was visualizing what she's saying, and she went into such detail, and it was making me feel sick. And I'm like, man, this could make, like, he's disgusting, but I'm like, nah, man, I've heard the audio. And the next day, that guy Ben, I don't want to call him butler, man. I feel so bad. Like
the housekeeper.
What would you call him? Right, the housekeeper. My bad. He seemed like such a nice fella. He's on this audio tape then, and he's going, look, I'll take her back to LA. And he talks and he takes her back to LA. And then a photo is taken of her when she got to LA and she got off the plane. And let me just show you that photo now, and then I'll end.
All right, real quick, Jim. Real quick, I just want to read Jimbo's comment. He says, her ex-assistant is making claims that she took her abuse story that she told her in private and is using it as her own.
I've heard about this before, actually.
Oh.
And listen, check that out.
Really?
That's her right there. So that was on the Sunday that happened. This is on the Monday afternoon in LA.
Yep.
Where's the bruises and the black eyes?
Yep.
That's the next day.
The next day, after she got her nose broke. Well, Ramon, don't you know, like, the good makeup cover up that she can do? She's a Hollywood actress. She can get covered up in the highest quality of makeup.
And one of the last ones is that when she first went up to testify, she'd done all of this long spiel, which I was like, wow, that's a really interesting story. And then someone put up on Twitter her speech, word for word, and a speech from the talented Mr. Ripley, and it's the same word for word, except for saying talented Mr. Ripley, it says Johnny. And it's literally a quote from the movie. And she said it on the stand.
I remember hearing something about that. Maybe I was watching one of your videos and I heard
I didn't cover it. I'll see it afterwards. But yeah, and I listened to it and watched it again. But even the way she was doing it, it didn't feel real the way she first went up, because she was like, he was hitting me and hitting me, but we were so in love. And I'm like, no one talks like this, bro. No one talks like this.
Well, hold on, Jimbo. Jimbo, not Ramon. Sorry, Jimbo has a comment for you. But in her defense, if you will, it's just to play sweet in here.
Yep.
She people that are in domestic abuse, and I've seen a couple of close people that have been in domestic situations.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how much they kind of disconnect themselves from reality. Oh no, it's not that bad. They talk when things are a constant whirlwind, or a constant storm in your life. When you get just a regular storm instead of a tornado, the regular storm don't seem so bad. You know what I mean? I'm just throwing out there a little bit of perspective on that.
It's also in my subconscious that something's going to come out to prove that he did do this, because the accusations she's making are so fucking wild. But it's hard for me to believe it when she says it all on the stand, and then like I've just played that to you, like Seth as well. Like you've just that's it there. It's like it's there. That's the actual thing. It's there. And it's hard to go, well, that don't make sense to me. Like, that doesn't add up. But it's not, the problem with it is it's not just that one time. Because she describes other situations where there's assaults. And then we've had 3 different police officers testify that they went up to her on different occasions and said, no, we checked her, she had nothing on her. But she's saying otherwise. So does that mean Johnny Depp's lying, the 3 police officers are lying, the doctor, she was, after she got back from Australia, she see a doctor. The doctor went up there and said, here's her medical record. We checked her. There was nothing on her. So does that mean the doctor's lying as well? All the police are lying? Like, is everyone lying but her?
Right. And that's what it seems like. And is there, before we're about to get to our Doctor Strange.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Man. I just want to remind everybody that we're going to get to our Doctor Strange spoiler-free talk here in just a moment. But I did want to cover this case with Ramon real quick. Is there anything else you wanted to add to your Amber Heard Johnny Depp case that
I think
like a nail in the coffin for you, or way to end this?
What this all comes down to is defamation. She had an article written and put in the Washington Post that said that he'd done all of this stuff. He's just trying to clear his name. I don't think it really matters right now if he wins. I personally don't think it matters whether he wins this case or not anymore. I think the public and everyone, when we're sitting here talking about it, listening to clips and watching it going, and I think the majority of people are going, I don't believe her, So I don't think it really matters now. If he loses this case, I think he's still won his name back, and I think that's all he cared about.
Right.
So I don't really care what happens. I think he just wanted his name, to clear his name, and it's proved. Like there's evidence of police saying and security guards saying, no, she jumped over my shoulder, she's punching him in the face, and I'm like, you've got people of testifying, no one's come through for her. There's no videos of it the other way round. Yeah. So if she doesn't show that, she can't. There's no way she could possibly win. That's how I look at it.
Well, Jimbo says, I'm sorry, but none of her testimony feels real and genuine. The fake tears, the blatantly posing for a picture in the middle of a breakdown. Yeah. But once again, I am biased as well. And that's the hardest thing, is to take away your bias. That's the hardest thing in this trial.
It is. I can't.
It really is.
Struggle with it.
But the thing is her nothing's come to light. But I mean, the only thing that's really come to light out of this whole thing is that, number one, she's exaggerating her story. If any of it is true, then it's exaggerated. And number two, Johnny does have a toxicity. He does have alcohol and drug abuse
100%
problems, and that also needs to be rectified in his world, But like, does that make an abuser? No, it does not. All right, we're gonna move forward here. Seth, is there anything you want to add on to that?
I was just about to say that everything Jimbo just brought up was what I was going to bring up, because I've seen the video of her posing for the picture. Because
it's crazy.
Yeah, she's like
I don't think I've seen this video.
She's wiping her tears that don't exist, and she's like, she has the tissue on her face. She glances over really quickly, and then she holds it still for 1 second, and then you see the camera flash, and then she starts,
and then she carries on, and that's when she was as a witness.
Yeah,
see what I'm saying, bro?
Literally posing for the photo.
Weird.
It's a bit weird, isn't it? It's a bit weird that would even be on your mind. It's like it's like Seth said. It's that strategic thing, right? You're getting, if you're going to blow your nose, you're like, and then she's looking around. She sees if attack where she went, and she just holds it there. You see the flash go off in her face, and then she goes,
yeah.
And you're like, dude, like you're not even going to. If you're that effed up, you've just been speaking about being abused. You're not going to be given a fault to a camera going off.
Right.
It's not normal, is it?
No, none of this is normal. None of this is normal. But Ramon, thank you so much for giving us our
no worries, man.
Depp and Amber Heard court update. If you want to follow this regularly, but you can't,
Here's
you don't-
Ramon.
but you don't
Ramon
have
Morgan.
but you don't have hours and hours and hours to watch the trial. Well, guess who does? Ramon does. So you can head over to his channel on Hit or Miss TV, where he does daily coverage. Now I don't know what you're gonna do next week because they're off for a week. You gonna relax?
No, I'll find something else in America. No, bro, it's always
Something else in America.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro,
He's
I'm telling you, over here,
He's gonna
all we've
roll
got
it
over
next
here
to
at the
states.
moment.
Like, let's go see what's happening in Alabama. All
Yeah,
right.
all they've got over here at the minute is a bit a shortage on petrol because of the Russia and Ukraine thing. I'm like, oh, people can't get petrol. I know I can go on there in a minute. I'm sure someone's blown up something over there in a minute. Do you know what I mean? I'll go on there and I don't know, a couple of kids have blown up a couple of schools and they've turned into Rambo or something. It's always something, isn't there?
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's one of the many reasons we took Seth out of schools. Anyway, all right, let's lighten the mood a little bit, shall we? Let's bring some calming music in.
I could do this all day.
Yeah, relax, everybody. Ooh, yeah.
I like this.
Yeah, this is nice. Just a little mood change before we dive into our spoiler-free talk of Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. All right, wake up, fuckers. All right, here we go.
That's enjoying that.
I know how to wake you guys up. Oh, shit. Ah, no. God, fuck you.
See,
Don't do it
you
again.
started it.
You should have not said, "I know how to wake you guys up." You should have just played it.
Just do it.
Just done it. That would have been funny.
All right.
No,
So
you've just
for
warned him
this, Seth, can you get rid of that banner, please? Thank you. You read my mind. Were you just already there?
Yep.
All right. Let's set the mood a little bit before we start talking Doctor Strange.
Oh, that's pretty.
Oh yeah. Which one do you guys like better? Let us know in the comments. We got this one or this one. All right. You're welcome. Welcome to Film Chick. Checks in the mail for your disability. Okay. Oh, I thought Ramon was playing that game again.
Oh,
I thought he was acting like he was frozen. All right. Well, first things first, before we dive into the actual review, Doctor Strange 2 original runtime versus theatrical. All three of us have seen Doctor Strange, correct? All right.
yes.
And we're all in agreement. No spoilers moving forward, correct?
No spoilers whatsoever.
Hearsay.
Objection, hearsay.
Objection. I want to talk about spoilers. No.
Correct. Hearsay, correct. Objection. You can't object. It was your own question. All right. Wasn't there a movie where somebody objected to themselves and they said they couldn't do that? Anyway, that actually happened in the Amber Heard case. Okay. So this had come out about the runtime of this movie originally. And it was Sam Raimi talking to Collider. He says, well, the first cut was, I actually don't remember the length of it. It was probably like 2 hours and 40 minutes. And it slowly came down. Even though we did reshoots, it took out material, even though the reshoots went in. So it slowly got down to about 2 hours and 5 minutes is the total. So he's looking at almost a 3-hour runtime before they edited it down. So just keep that in mind as we talk about what we like, what we don't like, and what we're on the fence about, and whatever about Doctor Strange 2 and about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Okay. Seth, first reaction, Doctor Strange, go for it.
It was very mediocre.
Wow, the impactful words of Seth Draven, everybody. Whew, is a man of few words, but I'll tell you what, those words are quiet. So,
No, it was not great.
So you're not a fan of Doctor Strange 2?
I'm not. I hate to be that
Really?
guy, but I'm really not. I don't dislike it.
Don't hate to be that guy. You don't hate to be yourself. It's okay.
No, but what I mean though is like I always see like when there's like a movie that's getting a ton of praise, I see people like, oh my god, this movie's incredible. There's always that one guy shows up, it's like, well, actually, this movie sucks.
Did you read the comic?
Yeah. So I'm trying not to be that guy, but like, I don't know. It just didn't work for me.
Okay, let me ask you this instead, because let's not look at this as a love it or hate it. Okay, roundabout. What did you like about this movie? Let's start with that. What did you like about this film?
I did like Strange himself. I thought he was well written, and I thought Benedict Cumberbatch gave a really good performance, as he usually does with the character. Yeah. But I did like him quite a bit. Oh, that's the end of the list, huh? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, is that it?
No, there's more. There is more. No idea if I can say it though.
Without spoiling it.
Without spoiling it. That's the thing about this is most of my thoughts are spoiler related. Well, so it's hard for me to really say some stuff.
As long as you don't say names and titles and stuff like that, it's fine to bring it up. Just don't give any context to it. You know, right. You can say X person and X cameo didn't do it for me. Here's why. You know,
I think I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm gonna save that for the spoiler thing, but I'll say this: there's certain cameos in this movie. I'm not gonna say what they are, obviously, but I just don't get why they were there. Other than, ooh, look, they served no purpose. Right. You could have taken them out. This movie would literally be exactly the same.
Correct.
They serve zero purpose, and that is really unfortunate because like they were really hyping it up, and I was like, oh wow, I can't wait to see what big role they play in this trailer. And then they just they were there
in the movie. In the movie, you mean?
No, they in the trailer they were hyping it up as they were to make it seem like they had a big role because they kept teasing. It's like, ooh, can't wait to see what they do, and they did nothing. You're
talking about Professor X,
the Illuminati as a whole. Yes,
the Illuminati as a whole.
They literally did nothing in this movie. I will go in depth with that at the whenever we get to spoilers.
Spoiler. I want to do a spoiler talk on either Monday or maybe a Sunday one.
Simon Cowell.
Yeah, Jimbo says Seth says I'm not trying to be that guy, but consistently is always that guy. I've come to notice that he's the Simon Cowell of the trio. You know what, Jimbo? I wouldn't call him the Simon Cowell. I would say Seth is probably the most emotional but most collected of us. You know, of the trio. Like he feels the most, but he's very collected. Ramon and I, we feel. Let me speak for myself. I feel fairly emotional, but I try to play the fence. I try to play devil's advocate on most things, but like I'm very expressive about it. Seth is not. Seth collects himself very well. Ramon's just an unhinged animal, but it's all that tea. Ramon, you are on the other hand, you really enjoyed this movie.
I loved it, mate.
What made you like it so much?
I'll tell you why I loved it, right? Because, and this is probably Seth's fault, actually. I watched Spider-Man, and I didn't like the last Spider-Man movie. There's parts of the movie I liked that I cried and I got emotional about because there was really beautiful moments in it, as we know, with Andrew Garfield. However, the main thing that I was upset with in Spider-Man was the reason for the story was just because. I can't get in college, so you've got to spend time in reality. And this movie has something very similar to that in terms of the story. And I was like, no, don't take it too seriously. Just let it go. So I did. So once I did that, I really enjoyed the movie. If I was to sit here and think about it, I wouldn't like it. If I was to sit here and pick apart those things that I normally would, it would really bother me because I'd just go, this is just stupid.
So when you say there's a similarity, are you talking about what's her name? America Chavez?
America Chavez.
Are you talking about her character?
Scarlet. I'm talking about Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
So the reason for this movie, it's the main thing I can't really say, but there's the reason for it just doesn't make sense to me. It's just kind of like it doesn't make sense to me. But once I let that go, that's what I'm saying. It was so fast paced. There's so much going on. I don't know. I just really, really enjoyed it. And I'll be honest with you, and I've said it before. All right, Seth's saying about being that guy. I think all of the TV shows and everything after Endgame up till this has been absolute bum. I think it's been shit.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I'm being blunt. I don't think it's been good content. Everyone's going crazy about Moon Knight. It's not a good show. It's not a good show. The last episode, it was all going off, and then the girl turned into Wonder Woman halfway through it. Like, what is going on? Like, she did. You see it, Seth?
I've only seen episodes 1 and 6 of Moon Knight. That's how I watch my shows. I watch the premieres, and if they don't interest me enough, I just watch the final episode when they.
I haven't seen episode 6. I've seen all of them up until then, but
like I'm not. No, Moon. I'm not being too harsh. Look, Moon Knight was okay, but we're talking about something that had 6 hours of work. I'd rather if this had another hour and slowed things down and had more story and whatever. But I got more out of this than I did out of 6 hours of Moon Knight. That's what I'm saying. So like, but if I was to pick it apart, like Seth said, if we're going to spoiler stuff and go, why did this happen? Why that? I'd probably go, you know what, this is stupid. So I've had to, again with Marvel stuff, I've had to turn my brain off, man, and realise that they're just gonna make stuff to just be like, oh wow, spectacle, oh explosion, spectacle. The end. Okay, cool.
yeah.
So I'm treating it like that.
Yeah, and that's fair. It's actually a very fair assessment. It's something that I had to sit on because I called Seth as soon as I left the theater last night, and Seth and I almost went live last night. If I would have known I was going to be off work today, I would have went live with him last night. But I was pretty tired. I was like, no, I got to get up early. But like, we vented. Like if you would have asked me last night, my opinion would have been completely different than it is today. My opinion last night was this movie was not good. I was not happy with it. There were good parts, there were good elements, but what the F, you know? But as I've sat and thought about it and I've absorbed everything that I watched, I actually did now. I've grown to really enjoy what I watched. And it was a point of me trying to understand that whether Sam Raimi did it intentionally or he's being directed by Disney Plus to do this, but this felt like a standalone movie. It didn't feel like it needed to be or was connected to much, or at least definitively connected to the MCU surrounding it. And like a lot of my disappointment last night was, what was the point? What was the freaking point of Loki? Why did I watch Loki, who opened the multiverse, and it had nothing to do with this show?
Nothing.
Why did I watch WandaVision, and we just cherry picked little moments from WandaVision and put it in the show, but we didn't, where we saw Wanda at the end of WandaVision to where she was at the beginning of this movie are two completely different characters. And there's a lot missing there. Now, I'm going back to what I said here when I read Sam Raimi's comment about how much is on the cutting room floor. Now you add in, like he said,
that's a good point.
They did reshoots and they still cut down almost 40 minutes. So they did reshoots and all that stuff.
Pointed at something else. Yeah, you've actually just pointed at something. Yeah, I didn't like. You're right. The way in which Wanda, as soon as she's introduced, is pretty right. I'm good to go. Let's fight. She was very, very evil from the get-go, and that didn't make sense with the last time we've seen her. The last time we seen her at the end of WandaVision, she corrected what she did wrong, and you thought, right, she's going to go to try and find her kids maybe, or she's going to try and find Vision, or she's going to try and find something, and it was left for you to go, right, we come back, we here, and all of a sudden she's just Scarlet Witch, I'm really bad. And that, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it kind of gone from, where's what happened? Yeah,
right.
I'm with that.
So
yeah.
I feel like either they just decide to say, hey, you know what, we're going a new route. We're going a new route at the MCU here. Our continuity is getting very convoluted. So now we're going to try to like stick loose to continuity and just do more standalones. Or they did have an explanation of why Wanda was where she was in this movie, but it got put on the cutting room floor. One of those two reasons is what happened with this character. Monte says, I'm just tired of Marvel making their own characters into side characters on their own films/shows. Perfect example is Loki. And then he continues, Marvel has such an issue with character continuity and writing. Yeah, you agree with that, Seth?
I think because you give all these people, you give a bunch of different writers these characters, so they're never consistent. But like, you know who is consistent in everything they've been in so far? Guardians of the Galaxy. You know why? Because every time they're in something, James Gunn is in the background to help out.
Yeah.
None of these other characters have that.
Yeah. Real quick, Jimbo says, I haven't seen Doctor Strange yet. This saddens me. Jimbo, don't let this sadden you. Like, out of the three of us, two of us really like this movie.
I gave it 8 out of 10. Like, honestly, I did.
I gave it a B-. If you want to check out my non-spoiler review, it's in the link description of the
it's
this
fun,
link.
man.
The link is in this description right now. I gave it a very high score, but like, because I had a lot of fun. Let me go back to the positives of this, because I don't want to sell this movie as a bad thing. The positives of this movie is that it is really fun from beginning to end. Like, it didn't the beginning starts right out of the gate. Like, right out of the gate, you're into the madness of the multiverse. You're right there. And this sets up expectation. This sets up the theme. This sets up just how this movie is going to play forward. You know, the speed in which the movie is going to play, and it stays consistent through the whole movie. And I love that about this film. I didn't have many parts, very few parts where I was like, okay, it's starting to drag. It didn't really do that to me in this movie. It was, I forget the word I'm looking for, but it's very consistent in the way it played out. And the characters, Doctor Strange, Wanda, I loved those characters in this movie. Yes, I do have issues with Wanda and her continuity from WandaVision, mostly because I invested a lot of my time in WandaVision. But like, honestly, if WandaVision didn't even come out and this movie is like just came out as a standalone, I don't need any of that stuff. If I take away all the MCU continuity, this is a really good movie. It is.
If you take away that, I mean, it's. I think you can. It's not. I mean, if you look at, so would you consider what you write on Wikipedia as the plot of the movie? Is that considered a spoiler?
Yes.
Okay, I won't say nothing then. No, because like you read the intro like, at the top, it's got the names, the intro, the plot of the story is this.
The plot on Wikipedia is literally just everything that happens in the movie, so I would consider that.
Oh no, I mean I was just I won't say I was just going to sort of say what the. I suppose you're right. I won't. You're right.
No, which character are you talking about specifically?
No, about Wanda. Just again, but it's basically what the story is. So yeah, I won't. No, I'm just saying like that's
the basic story is there's this kid being chased across the multiverse for her powers. That's what they're doing. You know, that's not really giving away anything. It's not really a spoiler. Yeah. I mean, there's no real definition of what a spoiler is, but I didn't give away anything in the movie.
It's difficult not to, but
it's called Multiverse of Madness. You know, multiverse and people with powers are in it. So there you go. But with that being said, this movie, not only was it fun, but like there are really solid horror elements in this film. There's moments, especially near the second half of this film, where Sam Raimi just shines.
Yeah.
You know, I totally see Evil Dead in this movie.
Yeah.
You know, I totally picked up some Spider-Man vibes in this film. Like, it was great.
Did you not notice the, you know, the very last, what do you call it, post-credit? I know that it was referencing what was happening in the film, but did you not reference that it was part of Evil Dead as well? That he was. Did you get that?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
I did.
You didn't get it, did you, Stevie?
No, I did. I just don't want to talk about what the
but it's
what
not
it
really,
was exactly.
It's not really,
okay, but
I mean,
we won't talk about what it is, but it's not a spoiler that he's in the movie.
Right. Well, the way I put it, Bruce Campbell is in the movie, and his cameo sucked. So.
What? I thought it was great, bruv. I love it.
It was good. I really liked it.
I get what you mean by the Evil Dead reference. I get it, but I don't want to.
I loved it, man.
I don't want to give that away. But at the same time, to me, the way I looked at it was, or the way I put it in my review, which again, the link to that review is in the description below, is that they're like, okay, we all know that Bruce Campbell's going to make a cameo, right? All right, you guys ready? You ready? Here it is. And then Bruce Campbell's like, Bruce Campbell, yay! Okay, moving off the story. Like,
what do you want him to do? That's what he did in every Spider-Man movie.
Subtlety. This was like all of his other cameos in Sam Raimi movies are pretty subtle. Like they're funny, but they're subtle. This was like not subtle. This was like, okay, we're going on 11. Whatever. Minor nitpick. But the horror elements of this movie, especially near the end, like that final battle, was just incredible. I loved it. I couldn't believe they let Sam Raimi do that for an MCU movie. Now, no, it's not gore. You're not going to see like blood gushing and body parts. Well,
but there were bits. I know what you mean. There were bits like the part that Seth was saying, the Illuminati part. I was like, whoa, for a Marvel movie, they're okay. But I wish they. They danced around.
They danced around.
Yeah,
they did what they could, and they did a good job. Like what they wanted to portray, they portrayed either on or off camera. But like, it still didn't take away from the intensity of what was going on in that scene. You know what was happening in that scene? Wanda was kicking ass and taking names, dude. You know, she was on 10 with her powers, unstoppable. That's what I loved about it. But the Illuminati scene itself, it was a double-edged sword because it was awesome and then it was also weak as hell. Like I couldn't figure out why or who.
It was a wasted opportunity on that part. I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that because when you look at the Spider-Man movie, you introduced everyone, and we was all worried for that exact reason. Is it going to be they're all going to turn up for like 5 seconds? This was kind of that, where if you bring that specific thing in, give them something. I agree with that.
Yeah, and Seth made a really good point. Go ahead, Seth. Were you about to say something?
I was just gonna say I only have 2 more things I want to say about it, both of which I will elaborate on a lot more if we do the spoiler thing. There's one part in this movie that made my jaw drop because I was not expecting it. I was just like, wow, they showed that. That was nuts. I'll tell you backstage what I'm talking about, but there was one part in this movie like, wow, that was intense.
What scene was it in?
Illuminati.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then there's I don't know if I should say this one.
Well, again, just leave out names and actual context. Like there's a certain character in the Illuminati who got taken out in a very spectacular way.
Ex-actor or actress in X role. Maybe
are you hitting at Professor X? No, not really.
Maybe not the best choice.
There's a wonderful fan service cameo in this movie. It really, we all know it's a multiverse of madness. We were all sitting there guessing how many people were going to be in this movie. So it's not a surprise that somebody made a cameo in this movie.
Ooh.
A couple of people did. And there's one cameo, like the big cameo, the one the whole theater would be up in arms about. Dude, it felt like it was phoned in. I'm not going to say who it was.
I agree.
Or anything, but the actor who played that character just seemed phoned in to me. I was like, oh my gosh, they're actually doing it. Oh my gosh, he's phoning it in.
A really wooden performance.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's all I can say about
which
it.
brings me to something I put on what I was on the fence about when it comes to this film was that Illuminati scene either seemed like it had a lot more to it and it ended up on the cutting room floor, or it was an afterthought. You know, it was one of those two.
I think they cut a lot out.
Well, yes, because Seth brought up to my attention about the seats. There's 7 Illuminati, right? We were introduced to 6.
There's often 7.
We were introduced to 6. There were 7 chairs, but they cut one of the chairs out and
one of the chairs was cropped out.
It was cropped out of the movie. So who the hell was that 7th person, and why did they cut him out?
I know exactly who it was.
Tom Cruise, was it you? Was it you, Tom? But I had a lot of fun.
I can see what you mean by that whole thing, but I think the reason it didn't, as I say, the only reason this stuff didn't bother me so much is because not in a bad way, but I just switched off my brain, and because it was so fast paced, it went from that to about 10 other different locations. My brain was occupied by just jumping on and moving on. If you stop to think about it, like you say, you kind of go, missed opportunity there, guys. So I think that's just how I've got to view the Marvel movies now, because if I look at it how I did with what we watched, building up to Endgame, like the content that we got, the brilliance of what we got, if I treat this stuff like that, it's just going to annoy me. So I try not to do that now, which is sad. It's sad that I do that, because I shouldn't be doing that. I should be sitting here the same as Seth going, but I'm trying to not think about it like that, because I've not take it too serious, which is bad. That's not a good thing for Marvel, because if you lose the fan base that think that way, that's what made it grow and made it so big, because the stories were so good, because it was so engaging. If you lose that, that's not a good thing. And I presume, from what I've seen online, it's not got the greatest of reviews, is it? Like the consensus of general people, like after Spider-Man, I wouldn't say the majority of people go, I love it, it's brilliant. I've seen people it's all right. It's like that kind of, which isn't good for a Doctor Strange movie, is it? So, but I just really enjoyed it, because I took it as a pinch of salt. Watch it and go, eh.
Fair, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Jimbo says the scene/character I think you're talking about right now got spoiled for me on Twitter. Yeah. That's one thing. That's one thing I've seen. Jimbo, without giving it away, that probably is who we're talking about. That wooden performance, as Seth said. But again, I keep going back to, if I look at this movie as standalone, and I get rid of all the other MCU stuff, it was a fun movie. I really enjoyed it. One thing I did notice was obvious reshoots. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but did anybody check out or notice Wong's hair in this movie?
Yep, I noticed it.
I didn't.
Through the entire middle of the movie, his hair is like half an inch to an inch longer than it is at the beginning and the end of this movie, which tells me they either reshot the entire middle part of this movie or reshot the entire beginning and end of this movie. Either way, that raises a lot of questions of like, what was this movie supposed to be? What did they reshoot and why? I would love to. I would love to see.
Do you know what? And I'm going to say it again, and that's off topic. It's the one thing not Warner Brothers, but it's the one thing I love, and I've always loved about DC. And I'll say it again. It's because it's not going to appeal to everyone, but they just do their effing thing. And if the studio allows it, like we begged for the movie to come out that we got with Snyder, we get the fan movie that we want. And I feel this is another one of those where if there's a lot cut out of it, even if it's an hour, it might be an hour of story, slow moments where you go, oh mate, like it makes the difference. And if they've got 40 minutes more of a movie, I know if you've got crap, you can take it out, but if you shot 40 minutes, that means someone in the studio has gone, oh, maybe it's too long, maybe it's, nah, bro, if the guy's done his thing and he's told a good story, just let it roll, let it happen. Like, but I don't know, that's just how I feel, because I think we're lucky, man. Like, as I say, those longer movies that we've had, 2 hours onwards, and the directors being able to sort of do their thing, we've ended up getting something for the most part in those instances where we've come back and gone, like we've watched something amazing because they've just let the reins off, bro. Just let them do their thing. And maybe that's the case with this. I don't know, but 40 minutes seems like a lot to that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot to cut down. A lot to cut down, especially you take away that 40 minutes. Plus, they did reshoots and added those. So like that, it could be an hour that they took out and then added 20 minutes of the reshoots. It's amazing when you actually start to splice that down, what it could be. Now, another thing I did want to talk about on what I really enjoyed about this movie was, as Seth kind of pointed out earlier, Doctor Strange and, Benedict Cumberbatch, but like also Elizabeth Olsen's performance in this film was probably one of my favorite parts. She was so good. So good. Like even though like I had my like WandaVision like continuity issues, it didn't matter. Like I bought into it. This is a woman who is heartbroken and she's
wicked. Yeah,
exactly. But the performances in this film were solid. The pacing was great. The visuals were awesome, except for that goddamn third eye. That third eye looked dumb.
That's what I was saying. That's honestly, it's a bit of like horror. That's going to be a haunting for Marvel for years to come. That's going to be something that gets picked at and laughed at, because even in the movie, I was just like, it just doesn't look right.
Right. It was the same thing with Thor and Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok, when he got his eye jabbed out.
Oh yeah.
And they tried to like play off there was a hole in his eye, but there was no hole.
You can see his eye there, like Chris Hemsworth's actual eye. You can see the CGI over it.
Yeah, it was so weird and strange looking. And this is kind of the same deal.
Strange looking.
Yes, what I mean. If it doesn't, that's what I'm saying. The whole thing with the eye, if that wasn't even in the movie at all, it wouldn't have made a difference. You still would have had a bad version and a bad version. It wouldn't have made a difference. I don't think, like what I said I've done a review and I burst out laughing. I said, I can't do CGI. But that's like me doing CGI, and I don't know nothing about CGI. It's like someone just got a picture and just put it and going right.
Yeah, the shading was weird. It just I don't know. It just doesn't look right.
Just leave it out.
Not. All right. Is there anything else you gentlemen want to add to our Doctor Spoiler?
One more thing.
Doctor Spoiler.
We haven't said Doctor Spoilers Stranger. I want to say one thing I did like, and you're going to call me a flipping idiot. I absolutely loved the relationship and moments between him and Rachel McAdams, because I did. I'm a sap. No, I did. I really loved it. No, because it's all soppy in it, but I really loved the moments they had together, because it reminded me a bit of MJ and Peter, where they want that to be together, but they can't, kind of thing. And they added a little bit of that in there, and I was like, again, when you're saying with time restrictions and taking things out, maybe they cut out something more that could have. It's just what I mean in this movie. That's the things in the movie that it's like it goes, right, we've got something there, and it starts to feel good.
But it doesn't
go. No, let's carry on over there now.
Right.
Like, shit,
yeah,
dude,
I brought that up.
A bit more of that.
I brought that up to Seth in our venting conversation last night, and without going into spoiler territory, but there was something like after the main event had happened at the end of the movie.
Yeah. I know the bit you're talking about. Yeah.
There's
a moment.
The storyline that you're talking about was never addressed again.
Yeah.
It was never addressed again. We never. Yeah, it just wasn't. And again, that's spoiler territory, so we won't.
Because that's what I'm saying. Things, especially with a movie like this, if you incorporated something a bit more with that storyline with them two, and him being worried about losing her, or because Peter's always got that fear of losing MJ. It's like no matter what's happening, there's the worry of what if you lose the loved one, and that's something that everyone can sort of relate to. And I think they could have maybe used that a bit more in this, even if she wasn't like a main focus character in it. The woman, is it Chris? Is it Christine? I think it's Christine or Chrissy or something. Christine. Even if it's not a main focus of the story, when she's in it, you're like, you can see that he gives a damn, and you're like, he's torn between it. And I think again, you should use that. If you've got that there, use it. It's just a little something, you know.
No, you're right, and they definitely did add some character development for Doctor Strange, which is
he was great, man.
Yeah, it's although like I almost feel like I almost am okay with Doctor Strange being in the background. You know, like I don't need Doctor Strange movies. That's how I felt leading up to this. Like I don't really need a Doctor Strange movie. I like where he is, or the role he played in the Infinity War, Endgame, what have you, and obviously No Way Home. But then when they dove down into his development into this movie, I began to like his character a little bit more on a surface level as opposed to what he can offer to the team. And I think they did a decent job addressing that. As I said, in the very last moments of the movie that fell off, like they addressed it, and then when he was back to his normal life, it's never talked about again.
Ask you, Seth, compare this to say Shang-Chi, Black Widow, and Eternals. Where would you say this was better or worse than those?
I liked it more than Black Widow and Shang-Chi.
But not Eternals.
Maybe Eternals. I don't know. I really liked Eternals.
That's what. Same here.
Like more than I thought I would.
It's around that same. Yeah, it's kind of around that same. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, although I wish we would finally address the Eternals in the MCU. I thought this movie would. Like, hey, there's a celestial coming out of our planet. Like maybe they should have addressed that at some point.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like when that happened in Eternals, that celestial's hands coming out of the ocean, and then it just stays there. Like it's now permanently part of the.
Strange, the guy looking over the planet, and I think, oh, well, I'll get to that. I'll get to that at some point.
Well, we'll find out that all this is taking place at the same time.
Here's a question for you. Here's a question for you. When is this meant to be set? Because that's one thing I was baffled all the way through it.
Yeah,
like,
you and I were just talking about the same thing. I was saying, like, I wonder where all this is. They're probably going to say that this movie took place at the same time as the Eternals or something. I don't know. It's their timeline isn't quite clear yet. Yeah,
that's the problem with a lot of it. Yeah, because Spider-Man happens, this happens. We know Black Widow was before,
right?
Shang-Chi must have been before because we went and met some people that were. That's the problem with it, with this whole multiverse thing. It's like, when is Moon Knight set compared to this? Like, there's so many different things happening at the same time. It's difficult to put. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, timing.
Doctor Strange is a few months after No Way Home. It seems to be about springtime in Doctor Strange. So, No Way Home. Let's say that was the end of No Way Home. Was it fall?
Yeah, I took actually. I didn't mean to, but I just took notice that the color of the leaves when he was walking down the street, it was fall time. They're all bright orange and look like they're about to fall down.
Okay, so the end of No Way Home is December, right? So this would be that many months later. This is fall after No Way Home. No Way Home and Hawkeye take place at the same time. Eternals is before Hawkeye, and Moon Knight is after Hawkeye. So somewhere in there is Doctor Strange, whether it be right before or right after Moon Knight. So either way, Doctor Strange is after Eternals.
Right.
Wait a minute. So Hawkeye and No Way Home were taking place at the same time. Did they address that in Hawkeye?
Kind of. Like the only way they addressed it, they mentioned the Statue of Liberty and how it was like under construction. They mentioned that in Hawkeye, but they didn't. They weren't going to mention Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Well, yeah, but like it's just one of those things. Okay, whatever. So No Way Home is a Christmas movie. Got it. Even though it took place during Halloween.
Don't worry about it.
The end of it took place during Christmas time.
Did it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, see, this is the problem where this is what I meant by the MCU is getting convoluted. Like it's there's just so much to it now. Like maybe we need more movies like Doctor Strange 2, where it can just exist as a standalone. You know, it can exist on its own 2 feet without. Well, it needs to connect to this, needs to connect to that.
Seth's the man with all the answers. What is the actual next Marvel movie?
Thor.
Yeah.
Right,
Thor is less than 2 months away.
Okay. I wonder how this is going to do. I mean, I think it will do all right at the box office. Do you think this is going to do big? Do you think it's going to?
Yeah, I do.
Do you really? What this one I'm talking about?
It's already the 8th highest grossing movie in its first release. It's already the 8th highest. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, chances are it's going to do pretty well. Okay. So I don't know. What do you guys predict? What do you think it's going to hit?
I think it'll get close to $1 billion. I don't know if it'll hit it though.
I think about 800.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd say it's. I think I'm going to go between Seth and Ramon. I'm going to say it's going to be above 800, but below $1 billion. If it reaches $1 billion, it's going to be like just at $1 billion. It's just going to barely be there. Jimbo says, "Hell yeah! I wonder if he's going to find himself in this one." Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, it took me a second. Thor, yeah, got it.
Yeah, no, because I know that's what the next one's about, isn't it? Because he's going to be leaving Asgard, and
that's what Ramon was saying before. Yeah, like because
what's the name? He's going to find himself. Take over. Is that right?
What's that?
Is Valkyrie going to take over? Because if Valkyrie takes over and you've got Lady Thor, maybe Alpha, Chris Hemsworth, goes off world maybe, and he's sort of, don't know, like maybe tries to find himself in this one.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be a new journey, a new uncharted territory for Thor. He's never found himself before. Well, I mean, I guess, honestly, Ramon, if you never find yourself, you are constantly looking. So maybe that he's just on this lifelong journey that he'll never find himself.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm something of a scientist myself.
All right, I think Ramon's checked out.
That's still my favourite quote, I think, of all the MCU, because the way it comes in, it's just, something of a scientist myself. It's such a great.
It is. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Do you know what I noticed as well when I rewatched that, and I got really upset, and I didn't notice it in the theatres, when they're on the Statue of Liberty and Octavia sees Tobey Maguire. They have a moment, and he says, "It's good to see you, dear boy," or something like that. And he says, "It's good to see you too." And I was like, I got well upset when I see it, like when I rewatched it at home, because I just don't, because so much was happening in the movie, I kind of missed that. It just went over my head. And when I watched it again, I was like, man, that was a nice moment. Like, there's some really fucking good moments in that film. Yeah.
There are, but there's a whole bunch of really not good moments in that film too. All right, is there anything else you guys want to add to our Doctor Strange 2 no spoiler talk?
Wanda's fit.
What?
She's fit. I want to.
Okay, that's what fit means in the UK. I'll remember that if I ever
do you not have that over there?
Fit?
Oh, yeah, she's fit.
Well, fit means like fitness. Like
keep fit,
hey,
fitness.
you take care of yourself. Like, hey, I went jogging today. I'm pretty fit.
I'd like to smash the granny out of her.
I don't even know. I understand that you're saying words. I just don't. I've never heard them put together in this manner before. I want to smash the granny out of her. It sounds like a freaking exorcism. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, she's Scarlet Witch.
I want to smash the granny out of her. The power of Christ compels you.
I wonder if that would have worked.
But yeah, it was
like
good.
the cross.
Oh, using the exorcism
Seth,
on Scarlet Witch.
Hey, Seth, what would you give Doctor Strange out of 10?
7. I didn't hate it.
That's not bad.
7, 8. Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying.
I never said I disliked it.
You kind of
but I think maybe
gave off that vibe.
You didn't give me the chance. I started to say it, and then you guys kept talking.
I think what it is though, the expectations are so high. That's the problem. Not on you, but that's the problem with all of us. The expectations are so high. We've been spoiled for choice with bloody good content, and you're kind of hoping like, the next one's going to be like, it's going to give you that. And it's difficult, I think.
Well, you bring up a good point here, Ramon, and that is expectations and what they mean. So, like, with No Way Home, we knew what we were getting, and like we're expecting that. You know, like this is like the top of what we could get in this movie, and we got all of it, and we're like, oh, it happened, it happened.
Yeah.
So, with this movie that was under wraps, like they really didn't leak out very much. Very little was leaked. And like we're all thinking, oh my god, what could happen? Anything. The world was endless with opportunity and possibility of what could happen in this movie. And they gave us,
for example, the Illuminati thing, just off the top of your head, because we always speculate and it's not spoilers, but the Illuminati thing, someone in the Illuminati had a wife who weren't in this movie. They could have had something happen to that wife. Like Scarlet could have done something to the wife of this thing, which would have left that guy like, and that would have left us like, oh my god, that's something's going to go on there. Like, and I'm just, because we're talking about it, like they missed the mark on certain bits. You're right, because when you've got all of that there, you should have utilized it a little bit better, maybe.
Yeah, that entire Illuminati scene was trash. Like I honestly like, I didn't like it. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. In my review, as I said, it was awesome and weak. It was awesome because of, Scarlet Witch's, what she added to the scene, but everything else, like what the whole, what I thought they think was going to be like the moment was a dud. It just fell flat. Even seeing, and it's not a spoiler because we see him in the trailer, but Professor X being in this movie, seeing him, okay. I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed.
I know. When you put it like that, like these epic effing characters should have been
Yeah. It could have been done a lot better.
Yeah.
For sure. And maybe it was. Who knows? Maybe that's on the cutting room floor. Maybe that was part of the reshoots. We have no idea. All right. With that being said, guys, Ramon, what would you give this movie 1 out of 10?
Again, probably same as Seth, 7. I gave it an 8, so I'll stick with that 8.
Right. I don't really know 1 out of 10. I do grading, a grade system, but a B. So I'd probably give it like an 8. 8. Yeah. An 8 out of 10. I would, because I did enjoy it. I could pick the movie apart. There are things I don't like about it, and I'm always going to bitch about. But I'll tell you what, if you brought this movie over right now, or someone said, "Hey, I got a ticket to go see this movie in theaters," I'm going with you. So like, I want to. I want. And I saw it in 3D, by the way. The movie. I'm not into 3D movies. I'm really not. And I didn't even mean to buy
Wonder in 3D.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to buy 3D tickets. I didn't know I had 3D tickets until I showed up and they handed me glasses. I'm like, oh, okay. Dude, the movie was great in 3D. It really was. And real quick, I got to see the Avatar trailer in 3D as well.
You know, I made a joke.
This actual trailer.
It was at the beginning of Doctor Strange. The Avatar
I
trailer.
didn't have that.
I think some people didn't get it. Yeah, I've seen a couple of people online like, "Hey, they promised us this trailer for the movie. I didn't get it."
The actual new footage of the new film, yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
Avatar 2.
There was a whole like minute and a half, is it, or maybe 2 minutes of trailer?
Yeah.
Poor and like the thing about the new Avatar trailer is that it's supposed to be like in a high frame rate of shooting. Is that right?
That's
Well, but listen, technology is way different than it used to be. So I'll tell you what, I didn't notice it when I saw the trailer, and 3D wise, like when they did that like half underwater, half like above water camera angle, like I really like for a second there, I was like, whoa, okay. I felt like I was underwater for a second. I really did. So that's one movie I do want to see in 3D is Avatar.
It's one of those I think I'm going to try and keep away from. That is one I'm going to keep away from watching trailers and stuff. I just want to watch it because I like James Cameron. I love the last one. It's been a long time, but you know he comes with the goods. So whatever he does, he's probably going to make a 2-3 hour movie, and it'll be like one hell of a like whoa. So I'd just rather just go into it not knowing anything. I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've got many years of hiding in the shadows because they've got 4 more sequels coming out of Avatar. And listen, I'm not a huge fan of the original Avatar. I thought it was a great movie, but I'm like, I watched it once and I've had no urge to watch it again.
Yeah. I've watched it. I think I've seen it like 2 or 3 times. It's not one that I'm, like you say, when you look at a lot of the movies, Captain America, I'll always keep watching a lot of them. Infinity War, I'll watch them over and over and over again. I wouldn't go and watch Avatar over and over again, but I just recall the first time I watched that at the theatre and I was like it was just amazing to see that. And I think it'll be another one of them. It creates the whole fucking world of like religions and music and it's just a new world. So I know that we'll all come away like that was incredible, but maybe like a one-off kind of. If
you do watch any trailers for this, watch the first one that released Ramon. It doesn't give away anything at all. It just kind of
it's just shots.
It gives you a visual aesthetic of what the movie's going to look like. You know, it's obviously going to be held more
wonderful, man.
On the water. Like,
looking forward to that, man.
And some of the scenes, some of the shots that they had were just incredible. Like when he's underwater and like he kind of does that. Pets like their version of a whale underwater, but it's so big and massive, and it's in 3D. And I'm like, oh my god, okay. I didn't realize it until just now that trailer worked on me because I've had no interest in Avatar 2, but now I'm really excited not only to see it but to see it in 3D. So, all right, that's it. I'm calling it. Put a pin in it, guys. We are done with this conversation today. I want to thank Seth and Ramon for joining us here at Film Trigger for our drive-by news / non-spoiler talk of Doctor Strange 2. We will be back here schedule-wise. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. As of right now, the time is about 6 o'clock, but I might push that up to a later time. We'll see. That will be announced at another date. With that being said, Seth, thank you so much for joining us. Seth, also a part of Film Trigger, and Ramon from Hit or Miss TV gave us our Johnny Depp and Amber Heard update. You can check out his channel, Hit or Miss TV. The link is in the description below. Please head over to his channel and subscribe. Hey, and while you're at it, do us a favor, subscribe to this channel too, because like we like people, but like we want you people to like us, and so come join us, subscribe, like, do the thumbs up thing, and conversate with us in the comments. That's what. Oh, and this is how we're ending it. Is that good? Can I change it up a little bit, or is Seth gonna freak out for creativity? All right,
I'm gonna kick you out. No, I'm kidding.
You know exactly how to kick me out. All right. With that being said, we will see you soon. Stay trigger happy, my friends. Peace.